Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen with Baker Girl. Thank you, Jesus. It is another beautiful day to be in the kitchen. And today, I thought I would have just a teeny bit of fun in the kitchen today. I am going to be sampling a collection of supposedly healthy snacks. So these are not deep fried. Oh, I don't really think of snacks as deep frying, but these are never fried. You know, calories are limited, high fiber, protein, all of those things. So I have a spread of them here from various stores, and I'm going to be sampling some, and I will be giving my honest reviews on whether or not these supposedly healthy snacks are worth the calories. So like and subscribe and stay tuned for that video. I'm hungry, so this should be interesting. Maybe I should not have done this while hungry. But hey, that's the whole idea of eating a snack, right? You ain't hungry, then why bother with a snack? Okay, first, let's try these. So these are made by a company called Smart Roots. Although to be perfectly honest, it's probably a brand that is a more familiar brand. Okay, no, it says smartroots.com. They are grain-free. It says no artificial ingredients or preservatives, a good source of antioxidants and vitamin A. They're also carved too, made with sea salt. And these are a blend of vegetable chips. So it's sweet potato, purple sweet potato, taro root, which is like a tuber, and cassava or yuca. Some of you would call it yuca. Yuca is delicious, by the way. So yeah, the ingredients says simply sweet potato, purple sweet potato, taro, and cassava, and then it says vegetable oil, meaning palm oil, and sea salt. Nothing more. Now, for 1 ounce of these root chips, it's 140 calories, 7 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of fiber. So these are not a plus in the healthy category. You only get 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of fiber. Okay. But anyway, let's tuck in and see. Let me set some of these aside. Let's tuck in and see what we think. Okay. They don't make it easy to get into these things. I thought I was physically strong, but these bags are... Okay. Oh, I see there's a little terry thing. Okay. I don't like that, though. I don't like... Anyway, no need to... See, that's always what happens. Anyhow, so I have a scale because I want to know, is it worth the 140 calories? So we get 28 grams. So let me weigh out 28 grams. Also, you can see just how much you're eating, too. Haha, 28 grams on the dot. No, 26 grams. Come on, scale. You can do better than that. Okay. No, 31 grams. This is not fun. Okay. All things honest. Now, now these are, as you can see, they are all these different little colors. Some is purple because these are the purple sweet potatoes, the regular sweet potatoes that we know of. And then I'm assuming this must be the taro. And this must be the cassava or yuca because it's white. So they actually smell like chips, like potato chips. But anyway, let's see. Let's have a taste. So these are the purple ones. Thank you, Jesus. Really crunchy. It's pleasant. This is the gotta be cassava. They are I'm struggling to I'm struggling to come up with something to say. Not a negative. Okay. If you were hungry, and I mean really hungry, and you wanted a snack, you wouldn't want these. They're not hard, but they're not like, they don't just melt in your mouth. They're a little too thick for that. They don't melt in your mouth. They don't have a lot of salt. As a matter of fact, how much salt do they have? 140 milligrams. That's not a lot of salt at all. They don't have a lot of salt, but they also, they're not exactly tough, but they don't melt and dissolve in your mouth like a potato chip. Is it worth the calories? If you are not really, really hungry. And I mean, there are times when we all want a little snack, but you're not extremely hungry, you're not ravenous. And you just want something with a bit of crunch. But these are not the softest in the world, so are they worth the calories? No. Unfortunately, not worth the calories. Sorry. And what a shame, because I love purple sweet potatoes. I love red sweet potatoes. I don't eat a ton of taro. Cassava, yuca is delicious. Yuca fries, and they are deep fried, but they are delicious. But, if I made some of those at home, I probably would be happy. I'd be like, yay, these are not bad, but I don't think it would be something that would be, like requested, or could you make that again? I don't think so. Okay, let's move on to the next snack. These are made by Good Health, and these are avocado oil veggie chips with sea salt. So no palm oil, soybean, none of that stuff. And the packet says, here is where fun meets flavor, which is kind of funny. This is interesting. It says, not intended to replace vegetables and potatoes in the diet. So what are the ingredients? Dehydrated potato starch, salt, garlic powder, tomato powder, turmeric for color, dehydrated parsley, dehydrated green pepper, spinach powder, dehydrated oregano, radish extract for color, carrot extract for color, paprika extract for color, avocado oil, and sea salt. Now, one thing I want to point out, really, really good healthy food, you should be able to read the label without any going, what does that say? It should be easy to read, just like that. So, thumbs up, Good Health. I like that. You can read through it, and it's stuff. I mean, okay, I don't have radish powder, but I do have radishes. I don't have dehydrated spinach, but I got spinach. I have all those things in the refrigerator now. So these are ingredients that have a place in your kitchen, maybe just not in powdered form. Now, once again, for 28 grams, which by the way is 1 ounce. Now this is interesting. 150 calories. So a little bit more than the Roots chips, which was 140. Same amount though. I mean, same portion size. So 150 calories, 8 grams of fat, 290 grams of sodium, 18 grams of carbs, less than 1 gram of fiber, no sugar, and 1 gram of protein. Now, if you eat the entire bag, which let's admit it, if you have a long road trip, yeah, you can easily eat the entire bag. The entire bag is 400 calories. I appreciate that. These are also gluten-free, and they are non-GMO. Very nice. So let's open them up. And let's see what we think of these. So 28 grams. Most snacks are 28 grams, by the way. Oh, these remind me of little, similar to 27 grams. That's good. Little orecchiette, which are the little ear, because that's what orecchiette means. Little shaped pastas. They're like little ears. And I do have little ears, so. Now, that's a good portion for 150 calories. That ain't half bad. Okay, let's have a taste. Thank you, Jesus. These just kind of dissolve. They just dissolve in your mouth. See, they're easy chewing. They're not tough. And you don't have to, set up dental appointments to eat them. They're good. Are they like regular potato chips? No. But, I mean, if I was on a very strict diet, couldn't have regular potato chips, I'd eat these. Yeah, and I'd be happy. But they seem like something that would fill you up very fast. But they're not salty. They are not hard. They have a lovely crunch. The flavor is good. And for 150 calories, for this amount, I think it makes a pretty good snack. So are they worth the calories? Yes, I absolutely would say that these are worth the calories. I think I have another one. Okay, moving on to number 3. These are by Popcorners. Now, I think I've seen these before. These are typically what you would find in gyms. At least the gym that I was a member of had these in the vending machine. I never bought any of those, so it'll be interesting to see how these taste. So it says Popcorners, the crunchy and wholesome popped corn snack. Oh, so these are not potato based, and these are white cheddar, never fried, and the entire bag is 240 calories. No artificial colors or flavors. So this whole bag is 240 calories. That ain't half bad. Because of that, it just gives the calorie serving as one package, which is 240 calories. So there's no measuring of these. Now, these has 11 grams of fat, 290 grams of sodium, 33 grams of carbs, a little more than the potato-based ones, less than 1 gram of fiber, once again, and 4 grams of protein. Yeah, because these are higher in protein, because that's the point of these. So it says ingredients: yellow corn, sunflower oil, whey, which is a byproduct of yogurt or cheese making, reduced lactose whey, maltodextrin made from corn. It's a it's not an emulsifier, but it has its purpose in some recipes. Natural flavors, doesn't say what they are. Canola oil. Some people may not like that because that is a seed oil. I use canola oil, but some people don't use it because it's a seed oil. Cheddar cheese, so milk, cheese cultures, and salt and enzymes. Does not say where the enzymes are from. Anyway, salt, citric acid, and lactic acid, which are, they're two different things. Mostly you will have citric acid in more food than lactic acid. Contain milk ingredient. Very good and important because some people do have dairy allergies and some people just don't do dairy at all. So it says, we believe what's fun for you is good for you. That is true. So we make our snacks with flavors you love in crunchy crisps that you... Okay, let me read that again. It says, we believe that what's fun for you is good for you. So we make our snacks with flavors you love in crunchy crisps that leave you never fried and always up for it. Okay, never fried. You not okay. That could have been better worded, but whatever. That's weird. Okay, so these are made, so to speak, for fuel. So anyway, enough talk. And they smell like they smell like popcorn. That's the first thing I'm thinking. Popcorn. They do smell like popcorn, but they are popped corn. So let's have a taste. Oh, they're like Doritos. Smells like popcorn. Doesn't smell like cheese. Anyway, let's have a taste. Thank you, Jesus. So first taste, they remind me of rice cakes, of the which I have eaten a good portion because they're really good, healthy snack when you're on a strict diet. But they don't contain rice, but they do remind me of rice cakes. But then the healthiness starts to kick in, like they snuck protein powder or something in here to make them not only good to me, but also good for me. Do I like them? So if I was at the gym and I was finishing working out and I wanted a snack, would I eat this? If somebody gave it to me, I would. That sounds brutal. Is the entire bag worth 240 calories? No. And I'll explain why I don't think these are worth the calories. Even though they do have a good amount of protein, which is always appreciated, they're a little high on carbs. And also, I don't think I could eat very many of them because I feel like I'm getting some sort of medicine while I'm eating. You know, like somebody has snuck. I don't know. You know how your mom used to sneak, maybe your mother didn't, but mine would sneak liquid vitamin C into things and then we would drink it. And so they're not terrible. I'm not trying to say they're not terrible, but they could be less medicinal tasting. But overall, I mean, at least it's nothing in here is going to do you any harm. So, but is it worth the calories? The reason why I say no, I don't think it's worth the calories. I think I would rather have a good apple. I mean, 33 grams of carbohydrates. I think I would rather have a good apple, maybe 2 apples after a workout than I would to consume this. Because the apples have fiber. These have less than 1 gram of fiber. If these had more fiber, I would feel better about the carbs. But there's not enough fiber to help with all of those carbs. So, are they worth the calories? Nope. Not worth the calories. Sorry. Okay, we are back to the roots again. Oh, dear. Yeah. Anyway, let's put on a happy face. These are made by the same company that made the earlier ones, Root Smarts. Wouldn't it be Smart Roots? Okay, Root Smarts. And these are made entirely out of sweet potato. Now, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about this because I know just about all sweet potato chips are never as soft and crunchy. So, I anticipate these to have a little bit more bite or more chew. But anyway, let me read the ingredients first. So, for 140 calories, you get 28 grams, 1 ounce always. 150 milligrams of sodium, that's nice. 18 grams of carbs, that's very nice. The reason why there's less carbs and things like this because this is a whole food. Versus these are not a whole food. So there's always less grams of carbs, typically in whole food things. 3 grams of fiber because it's sweet potato. And 2 grams of sugar. 0 grams, however, added sugar, but 2 grams of sugar because it's sweet potato. And 1 gram of protein. And 7 grams of fat. That's real nice. Okay, so let's weigh these out. 28 grams. Now these are looking somewhat like meat chips. Okay, that's a decent portion. As I said earlier, I don't think this is something that you would consume a ton of just because of the texture, but let me taste them first before I start judging. Okay, thank you, Jesus. Me like. Me really like. Sweet potatoes. Tastes like a sweet potato. What will be even better on these if there was just a little bit of maybe like chili, like something spicy, even though it's sweet potato. And I normally wouldn't dream of putting anything spicy on sweet potato, but a little spicy on here would actually be good, but they are good. They don't melt, as I say. They don't dissolve in your mouth, but the texture is nice. It's not tough or overly chewy. I like these. I like these. These are good. I really like these. So, I mean, I guess I don't have to say this, but are these worth the calories? The answer is yes. They are so worth the calories. They're delicious. I think I have another one. Okay, next up are these. These are by Harvest Snaps. So these are Harvest Snaps. And this is white cheddar. They did have just lightly salted ones. It says made with real veggies. Now, these are true knockouts. 5 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber per serving. So let's look at the servings. And by the way, these are gluten-free. Very nice. So for 28 grams, 140 calories, which seems to be standard, 6 grams of fat, 130 milligrams of salt, very good, 15 grams of carbs, great, 3 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, 0 grams of added sugar, by the way, and 5 grams, that whopping 5 grams of protein. That's very good. Okay, so ingredients, because let's find out how we're coming up to all of this protein. Green peas, which I'm assuming is where the protein coming from. Yeah, it would be, and the fiber too. So it says green peas. By the way, these are made out of green peas that are reshaped into pod shapes. So it says Harvest Snaps. So they have a little graphic back here that kind of depicts what the process is. So it says we start with whole peas, and they have a cute little picture of a tractor going over a field, and mill them in-house. Form them into pod shape and bake for the perfect crunch. So this is made with real veggies. So the ingredients are green peas, vegetable oil, which is canola oil, sapphire oil, and sunflower oil, white cheddar seasoning, cheddar cheese, pasteurized milk, cheese cultures, salt, and enzymes. That really is all that should be in cheese anyway. Whey, which is a leftover of cheese making, so they're not wasting anything. Maltodextrin, salt, sour cream, which is cream and non-fat milk, and cultures. Buttermilk solids, sweet cream solids. So these are very heavy on the dairy. Natural flavors, non-fat dry milk, onion powder, garlic powder, yeast extract, canola oil, vinegar, rice, calcium carbonate, and rosemary extract does contain milk. Okay, so it says made with delicious farm-picked peas. Our crispy snaps are packed with 5 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber, seasoned with white cheddar, for a creamy, satisfying, cheesy bite. Okay, so let's see if we're going to get this cheesy bite. Oh, that was easy to open. Oh, wow, no struggling. Okay, we are off to a good start. So 28 grams. Ah, they look like cute little peas. Exactly. Oh, wow. Look at them. They're just Now, having snapped real peas and green beans before, they do look like, they look just like little green peas. They smell good. Smell like a forced cheesiness, but they did have a lot of dairy, so. All right, well, let's have a taste. Thank you, Jesus. Lots of crunch. These are nice. Oh, wow. These are good. Now, these are like, I hate to call them late night munchies treats. But this is what you would eat if you had late night munchies. These are good. I really like these. They taste like cheese. But they also, you can tell you're eating something that is actually healthy, good for you, but good to you. It's like a loaded cheesy baked potato or something, which they don't taste like baked potatoes, but I'm saying, you know you're getting something good. You know you're eating a treat, so you wouldn't eat the whole bag. But yeah, I like these. So, are they worth the calories? Yes, they are totally worth the calories. As a matter of fact, these are worth the 410 calories for the entire bag. Look out, road trips. Yay! Now I know what to take. Now, these are also by the same company, Harvest Snaps. These are tomato and basil crispy baked veggie snacks. And wait a minute. 9 grams of protein. Wait, how much did the other one have? 5 grams of protein. 9 grams of protein. Okay, this is starting to sound like some unbelievable chips. 9 grams of protein. Well, I need to find out where this protein is coming from. Okay, so the entire bag is 230 calories. So this little snack size, I mean, okay, so 10 grams of fat, 170 milligrams of salt, 28 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, because there's something in here that has some natural sugars in it, and that whopping 9 grams of protein. So we're going to find out, where does the protein come from? Of course, first ingredient, red lentils. Well, that explains where all that protein comes from. Yeah, lentils are very high in protein and very high in fiber too. So yeah, that explains it. The rest of the ingredients is vegetable oil, which is canola, safflower, and or sunflower, rice, tomato basil seasoning, maltodextrin, salt, sugar, natural flavors, onion powder, garlic powder, tapioca dextrin, citric acid, spices including basil, extra virgin olive oil, yeast extract, white distilled vinegar, extractives of tomato. Why extractives of tomato? Okay. Paprika for color, calcium carbonate, and rosemary extract for freshness. It's packed on shared equipment with milk. Okay, but no nuts. So they're gluten-free, by the way. All of these, I think, are gluten-free. So let's tuck in. This is another one of those peel the sides. Let's tuck in. Okay, this smells to me like, and I'm just going to dump out a couple of these because the entire bag is only one. So these look like the other ones. So they have that same pea shape. So these are the white cheddar ones. These are tomato basil. They both have that same pea shape, but smell very much like tomato soup. But let's have a taste. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, wow. They got a little, that's the vinegar. You can tell something is dancing around your mouth. There's a little tang in here. They are good. I can taste the olive oil. which is not something you would expect to find. But I actually can taste the olive oil in these. Definitely taste the tomato. Are they as good as these? Not quite. But that's only because it's two different flavors and it depends on which one, the flavor you prefer the most. I would always prefer something with cheese over something without cheese. But these are not terrible. They're not bad and they are good. Yeah, they're good. They're like, compared to these, they're very palate cleansing because they have that little bit of a kick to them. So they're good. Are they worth the calories? Yeah. Yeah, I would agree that both of these are well worth the calories because they have, everybody's on a protein kick right now. But they are not just snacks. They are snacks with healthy benefits. So I appreciate that. So yeah, I would say both of these actually are well worth the calories. Now these two snacks, oh wow, this one's heavy, comes from Trader Joe's. So this is Trader Joe's brand. These are sesame sticks and these are baked cheese crunchies. Baked cheese crunchies. Interesting. Anyhow, the sesame sticks. Now, I'm gonna admit it. I grew up eating these. Not Trader Joe's, because there was no Trader Joe's anywhere. I don't even know if it was in existence when I was growing up. Maybe it was, but there was none around us, that's for sure. But I grew up eating these. My parents would buy them at the health food store. So we had a bulk health food store. They had these big bulk bins. That health food store is still out today, by the way. It is called Sevenanda. And they specialize in organic, vegan, all those lovely things. And they have an entire bulk section. The bulk food section was a lot bigger than it is now, but they still have a tidy amounts of bulk herbs, bulk teas, and they have some bulk food items such as raw sugar, organic flours, organic cornmeal, organic nuts, organic dried fruits, and various granolas and healthy snacks. And these were in the bins as well. They have these huge bins that sit on the floor and you just open up the lid and scoop out what you wanted and you know, you bought what you want by weight. And you can bring your own container or they would provide plastic containers if you didn't bring one. They had two types. It was a Cajun sticks, which were very thin and long. And then they would have something similar to these. So as I say, these are sesame sticks. It says crunchy wheat snacks with sesame seeds. So if you have a sesame allergy, obviously you want to, or a wheat allergy indeed, you will want to avoid these because they have both. Now, for 30 grams, woo, we finally got out of that 28 gram per serving category. For 30 grams, you get, oh, okay, let's slow down. 170 calories, woo, okay. 12 grams of fat, 450 milligrams of salt, 14 grams of carbs, so the carbs come down on these, 2 grams of fiber, and 3 grams of protein. Right, so let's read the ingredients. Unbleached, enriched wheat flour. Appreciate it, unbleached. And then, of course, flour has its own ingredients. Malted barley, niacin, reduced iron, and so on and so forth. And then they're made with soybean oil, sesame seeds, bulgur wheat, salt, and color added, which would be turmeric powder and beet powder. So that none of that is terrible. These are, none of that is terrible at all. And they have a high amount of calories, probably because of the flour and also because of the bulgur, which is bulgur can be used in many different ways. But it's delicious. And I would think with that in there, though, it would have a little bit more fiber. Anyway, let's open these up and have a taste. These are going to be challenging too. Yeah, here we go. They make you work. You know what? I'm just going to have to get a knife for this one. Woohoo! Found some scissors. So in that case, I can cut this to whatever opening I want. I don't have to cut too much. Okay, so with this one at 170 calories, you definitely want to pay attention to that calorie count. So that was 30 grams. Didn't take, oh wow, did not take long to get to 30 grams with these. This is 30 grams, 170 calories. And this is a snack. Yeah. We ate these when I was a kid. We didn't really do any portion worrying. But anyway, let's taste them and see if they are the same as the ones that I grew up eating. They don't smell quite like it, but let's taste them. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, they're the same thing. And you love sesame seeds, especially toasted sesame. You will love these. Yeah, they're the same thing. They have a lovely crunch. They're good. Yeah, I mean, this is the snacks of my childhood. So yeah. They're really nice. Okay. I'm in a bit of a dilemma about these. Because I want to go through, are these worth the calories? And that's where my conflicting emotions is kicking in. I want to say, okay, so let's just close an eye to the calorie count on the back. Okay, let's just shut the eye to that. Are they worth the calories? Yeah, they're delicious. They're crunchy, they're tasty, they're not overly salty. They have a great amount of sesame flavor. Are they worth the calories? Yes. But then when my eye falls on that 170 calories for this amount, which is what I was saying, close your eyes. For this amount, the second eye, the critical eye goes, no, my goodness, but that's not fair. That is not fair at all, because this is a teeny tiny amount of a snack, and if I'm hungry, I want to eat, and I want more than this for 170 calories. See, this is the kind of stuff you paid no attention to when you were a kid. You just ate, and you ate merrily, and till mama told you ate enough, and you didn't worry about it, and you ran out in the backyard and played baseball. We didn't even think about it. But I can't do that anymore. I have to consider my portions. And this, I mean, I've only eaten, what, 3? This is not but a handful. 170 calories? This is tough. This is really tough. I've got to put some sort of bright spin on this for my own sake. If you have done really well and you can budget these out in your calorie diet, that's good. But otherwise, another reason why I'm having conflicting emotions is there's not enough fiber and protein in these to compensate for that high calorie count. And that's the thing about food. Now, I am in no way a dietitian, some sort of nutritional expert, advisor, any of those things. No doctor, no none of that. But I do work with food, and I personally, in my own family, we prefer to consume whole foods. So this is not strictly a whole food. Yeah, and it is a snack. So I struggle with that high calorie count for something like this. Are they worth the calories? If you stick with the portion that is listed. If you don't, are they worth the calories? Well, that's just a decision that I would have to leave that up to the person who is eating it. Because sometimes Is it worth the calories? Depends on how hungry you are. Okay. And finally, these baked curly things, which, if I am not mistaken, because I've seen these before, they're like the Cheeto curls things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut into this too, because I don't know what's going on with these packages not being easy to get into. They don't smell like anything. Okay, back to our 28 grams. So 28 grams per serving, because this is per serving, 140 calories, 6 grams of total fat, 170 milligrams of salt, that's good, 19 grams of carbohydrates, less than 1 gram of fiber, 1 gram of sugar, but 0 grams of added sugar, 2 grams of protein. Y'all stingy with the fiber and the protein. So it says on the front, it says 40% less fat than regular fried cheese flavored corn snacks. That's a smack, but so for Trader Joe's, for these, there's 6 grams of fat per serving. If you get the regular fried cheese flavored corn snacks for the same amount, it's 10 grams of fat. Anyway, ingredients: cornmeal, expeller pressed vegetable oil, which is sunflower oil, sapphire oil, and oregano oil. Cheese seasoning, cheddar cheese powder, which is, in parentheses, pasteurized milk, cheese cultures, salt, microbial enzymes. I appreciate that. I'm going to footnote that, and I'm going to talk about those microbial enzymes. And then it just says, close parentheses, whey powder, butter, which in parentheses, cream and salt, close parentheses, buttermilk powder, salt, color added, which is annatto extract and turmeric. And then it just says natural flavors. Okay, so let's portion out an amount. That infamous 28 grams is 29 grams, 28 grams. Now, before I tuck into these and give honest reviews, back to the microbial enzymes. Now, I say this from a cheesemaker's point of view, by the way, not from a biologist's point of view. You have 2 types of enzymes. You have enzymes that are animal-based, and if you're making cheese, you need an enzyme of some sort, whether it is microbial, whether it's animal-based. You need an enzyme, period, in order to make cheese. Now, people down throughout the ages have made cheese using nettle or pine tags or, whatever. But you need either one. Now, for animal enzyme, typically comes from the lining of the stomach, a calf, typically. And that is called, you may know, that is rennet. That is an enzyme, come from the stomach lining of a calf. Microbial enzymes, on the other hand, they are kind of a wide range. They come from microbes, and they can be, you can get like anything, I want to say plant-based, but not always plant-based, but that kind of gives you an idea of what I mean. And there are books written on these things. But if you're making cheese, you need an enzyme, whether you're using an animal-based enzyme or you're using a microbial enzyme, which, if in the cheese making world, is called a vegetable rennet. And it typically comes from some form of a plant, as I say, such as whether it's stinging nettles or, whatever other types of plants that work. Now, can you just go out and grab something and make your own enzyme for making cheese? Probably not. I've never done it. I just order it from the cheesemaker supply company. But you need some type of enzyme. So you always will find that when it says cheese, there is some form of enzyme. Now, if you are, well, first of all, if you were vegan, you wouldn't be eating these. So you wouldn't be bothered with that. But there are vegetarians who do not want animal-based enzyme in their food. because whereas milk, nothing had to die for you to be able to consume milk, because you can milk a cow or a goat or a sheep or a buffalo, and you don't have nothing is harmed. But when you're talking about the enzymes that has to come from the stomach in order for milk to curdle, because that's what produces the curds in the cheese. You add the enzyme to it, it immediately coagulates the milk, and once the curd sets and you cut it, you get cheese curds, and then you can proceed on with your cheese making. So some vegetarians will not consume animal-based enzymes, so they would want microbial-based enzymes. So when you see that it says microbial, it goes, but if you're vegetarian, these are safe. They're okay. So back on topic, enough about enzymes and microbes. Let's sample these and see. Now, first of all, I ain't smelling nothing. Like, I don't even smell cheese, but let's not be critical. Let's taste first. So, thank you, Jesus. Ooh, these are huge. What? I'm not tasting anything. And what I am tasting is bitter. These are weird. They are so weird that I don't think I want to eat anymore. No. No. That is not even worth the calories of another chip. I'm sorry. No. What is wrong with these people? That doesn't really taste like anything. And what little flavor I am getting is bitter, which is strange. Where is that coming from? I don't see anything in here that would give that flavor. Okay. Wow. Well, I mean, I don't think I need to say, are these worth the calories? The answer is no. They are not worth the calories. They're not even worth the calories of another bite to see, are they worth the calories? The answer is 0. No, not none. Bleh. As my mother would say, bleh. And that is exactly what my mother would say, by the way. Not making that up. My mother would go bleh in a minute. I'm sorry, Trader Joe's. And I am really sorry, because I like Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's have really, really nice things. They have excellent produce, delicious, healthy, all natural chickens. I love the little aisles with all the little stuff crammed on it. But Trader Joe's, I'm sorry. No, these are not worth calories of any kind. Not if I'm super hungry calories, if I'm full calories, if the cupboard, no, these are not worth the calories. And they should be. Anyway. Yeah. Let me go get some water. Ew. So out of all the snacks today, I have to say my favorite, and this is going to be a little difficult because I did kind of like some of these, but I have to say, honest, I really liked the sweet potato chips. They were good. They were really good. And they taste very clean. Not anything that weigh you down or, you fall asleep after you eat, whatever. And they're also not something that you just want to keep consuming, because they do have a good amount of texture. So I don't think, unless I was like, I don't know, really, really hungry, which I wouldn't necessarily grab this if I was super, super hungry. Like, that hungry, you need to eat a meal. But I really like these. They have a very clean, as I say, a clean flavor, a lovely crunch, and they taste just like sweet potato. And they are just sweet potato and vegetable oil and salt and nothing else. So These would be my hands down favorite. Now, if you ate the entire bag, Sarah, would it still be worth the calories? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be worth the calories. I also enjoyed the veggie chips. They were good. Not something I think I could eat a ton of. These feel like they would fill you up very quickly. But they were good. And of course, I love the little pea shape. These was really good too. Well worth the calories, these. I was not a massive fan of these at all. They are a little tough, a little too much. Unless, you want to set up a dentist appointment after you eat these. Maybe before you eat them. And I did not care for the popcorners. I'm sorry. They taste like, like your mother hide medicine in your food so you can, sorry. No. And these got me into a bit of a conundrum because, but overall, I think they're good. I'll put them on the good side. I think they're good. Yeah. And these was a big fat no, zero, absolutely not worth the calories, not worth the package, not worth the space they take up on the shelf. I'm sorry. Trader Joe's, do better, because these were not worth the calories at all. So, but I can highly recommend these. These are delicious. So anyway, I'm not full because I just ate the teeny tiny amount. So I'm not full. But now I have a choice of delicious snacks that I can have in the pantry. And I'll just fill these up and have a couple of them from time to time. For the ones that I don't like, I shall feed them to the birds. Because the birds will definitely appreciate these. Crumble them up, sprinkle them out. The birds will definitely appreciate them. And they won't think anything bad about their snack choices. I hope you have enjoyed this little video on me testing some healthy snacks. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. And have you tried any of these snacks? Do you like any of these snacks? Or some of them unfamiliar to you? Or what are your favorite, like midday, like gotta have a little nibbles? What are your favorite nibbles snacks? Leave it in the comments. I would be very interested to hear. And I really would like to hear from you all of what you thought of any of these snacks. So y'all comment away because I want to hear your thoughts on these little snacks. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and the good Lord willing, I will see you guys again in another video. Take care, y'all. Bye. Did I eat my entire portion? No, I didn't. So that means I still can eat my entire portion.